This is the scene of one of the worst industrial accidents in modern history. The only warning sign of the horrors to come is a faint rumble from a storage tank and a fine haze starting to fill the air. This is the story of the Bhopal Gas Disaster. Welcome back to a series that I'm calling Scientifically Interesting Ways to Die. At the Union Carbide pesticide factory, vast quantities of methyl isocyanate, or MIC, a toxic precursor material, are stored in pressurized steel tanks, supposedly isolated from moisture and air. But when sales fell, cost-cutting measures meant safety standards weren't far behind. On December 2nd of 1984, at around 8 PM, plant workers were water washing a clogged filter on the relief valve vent header, a standard cleaning procedure intended to clear blockages. Normally, they'd insert a blind plate to keep the tank pressurized and protect the reactive MIC. Tonight, through accident or mechanical failure, it isn't in place, and in a matter of minutes, an estimated 500 kilograms of water flows into storage tank E610. Instantaneously, the MIC starts decomposing into methylamine and CO2, releasing heat in an exothermic reaction. Months earlier, the refrigeration unit that keeps the tanks cool has been shut down to save money. At 10:30 PM, as the city of Bhopal sleeps, the pressure from E610 rises from 2 psi to 10 psi, which an operator notices but discounts as probably one of many faulty gauges in the facility. By 11:30 PM, they can feel heat radiating off of the tank's steel shell. Inside, temperatures surge towards 300 degrees C and pressures hit 160 psi. At 12:15 AM, a relief valve designed to open at overpressure to avoid explosion lifts, sending toxic gas into the vent system. Operators desperately try to start the vent gas scrubber, meant to neutralize any leaks with caustic soda, but it hasn't been maintained in months and is in a state of disrepair. The gas bypasses the scrubbers and is directed upwards towards the flare tower, a failsafe intended to incinerate hazardous emissions. But this too has had a mechanical failure that has never been repaired, meaning it doesn't ignite and a plume of toxic gas bursts into the night air. MIC reacts violently with water of any source, even the moisture in the eyes, mouths, and respiratory systems of sleeping city residents. A roar of choking and coughing erupts across the city. Inside their lungs, MIC chemically burns the alveoli, tiny balloon-like air sacs where oxygen enters the blood. Fluid leaks from their delicate walls, and victims asphyxiate where they stand, effectively drowning from within. By morning, 3,000 people have died, and within weeks that number rises to 15,000. 500,000 others are also exposed and suffer with consequences to this day. Accountability is limited. In 1989, a $470 million civil settlement was approved, and decades later in 2010, several former Union Carbide officials are convicted of causing death by negligence and receive 2-year sentences, about 1 hour of imprisonment per death. To this day, parts of Bhopal still struggle with contaminated groundwater. The story of the Bhopal gas disaster stands as a reminder that if you skip the bill on safety, disaster will settle the tab. If you like science and know safety manuals shouldn't double as horror stories, follow for more.